Good evening, everybody. This is Sweat, and welcome to another episode of Military Monday. Just a few weeks after I initially started, but anyway, I want to quickly introduce my guest for today. Sergeant Merrill, go ahead and say hello.
Hey guys, what's going on?
And Sergeant Merrill's here to discuss a question that I'm pretty sure both him and I get quite a bit. But very quickly, I want to ask you guys if you're watching the video, if you could comment down below what you think of the quality. I'm trying to finally record in 1080p. Got a new 670 graphics card, but the settings are just not being friendly. So let me know what you think of the video quality. But anyway, Sergeant Merrill, the question that everybody asks me, and I know for a fact you've got it on several occasions, is should I join the military? And I don't think that people understand that we're just not the people that you ask that question to.
No, I mean, that's such a commitment. You're talking like no matter, first of all, people should know no matter what contract you sign, you're doing 8 years. So that's 8 years of your life that you're dedicating, that you're committing. And there's some serious repercussions if you go back on that commitment. So for me to say this is why you should join the military, like, no. I think a better question to ask us is why did we join the military? What would be some good reasons to join the military? I can give you good reasons, but I'm not giving you. I'm not going to try and convince you to join the military because that's a serious commitment, which can end up in you losing your life.
Yeah, and there's so many different factors, and you can't even sit here and discuss them all. Every single one of you guys watching the video are different. Sergeant Merrill and I are different. We both joined for different reasons. You guys in the audience have so many different things going on. And we get this question from 12-year-olds, from 13, 14, all the way up to 22 years old. People whose lives aren't going the way they thought they were at their high school, or people who are years away from high school, and you still have so much in front of you. You just don't know, and I understand that, but there are so many different factors and just so many different instances that it would be impossible for Sergeant Merrill to look at, and Sergeant Merrill and I to look at every single instance and say, yes, no, whatever. I mean, again, I
Hmm.
agree with him. I agree with Sergeant Merrill. Ask us why, and I think I've covered it before. Sergeant Merrill, you want to briefly cover maybe why you had joined the military or that maybe
It was a number of
circumstances?
different things. I mean, my entire family has been in the military. I mean, I'm talking grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers. My parents met in the military, so I literally would not exist if it was not for the military. So, I mean, it was kind of like a rite of passage for my family. But it's also just kind of a stepping stone for my family. There are very few people in my family that were actual lifers in the military. We all used it as a stepping stone, both for on-the-job training and money for education. You get a lot of benefits for being a veteran. So that's why I joined. At no point in time did I say I want to join to kill people. I want to join, because I want to be a lifer in the military. I looked at the benefits of being in the military and I used it to my advantage. And that's what people should do if they're considering it.
Yeah, and I mean, again, completely different scenario. Now, my grandparents were in the military. My grandfather on my father's side served in World War II. My grandfather on my mother's side served in the National Guard. But for me, it was just growing up. I've always, you guys know, if you watch any of my videos. By the way, in case nobody realized it, or maybe you're new here and you haven't seen this, Sergeant Merrill was a sergeant in the Army. I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. And growing up, I knew about the military. I studied the military. I was even in ROTC in high school, but it wasn't until my junior year and 9/11 happened that I find that there was a definitive point in my life where I
Oh
said
yeah.
I am making the commitment to the military because there was that
Oh yeah.
that was that point. That was the time in my life. Something significant like that happening. And people right now, you guys may not have that. I don't think you can really compare the Libya attack, on the embassy
Mm-mm.
the same way as you can compare 9/11 because that was, the largest assault on America since what, Pearl Harbor in 41.
So such a man that time in general was such a time to be an American. When you would I remember like just driving down the road and seeing like random people standing on corners holding up the American flag and like everybody honking and stuff. Like it was a pretty big patriotic time because we all were looking for someone to kick, someone's asses to kick. And it encouraged a lot of people to join the military at that time. I mean, I had countless people in basic training that was their story. And it was a peace of mind. I was pissed off. I wanted to contribute to the fight. But I was also interested in getting that on the job training
Hmm.
and using it to my benefit for when I got out, and that's exactly what's happened.
And there are other aspects as well that you have to think of. I mean, people join the military for so many different reasons, such as say you're in high school and you're lacking that camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're lacking or maybe you're lacking the motivation to work out, or maybe you're overweight or underweight. I know I was underweight in high school, and you want that motivation to be able to excel, and you know where you can get that. I mean, people look, and there's so many different things that you can find in the military and different
I know
parts
I
of the
don't I don't
military.
know about the Marines, but in the Army there are 212 different jobs in the military. There is not just infantry, there's not just snipers or mortar teams or combat MOSs. There are so many different things you can do in the Army. And I'm sure it's the same thing for the Marines.
Yep.
So, when people talk about joining the Army, they talk about all these combat MOSs, and I don't want to put my life in danger. And I mean, sure, you're a soldier first, you're an infantryman first, but at the same time, you can gather some extremely valuable skills that you can use later in life that you would never have any opportunity to learn, for some of these people anyway, in the conditions that they were in. I mean, I was in Prince George, Virginia. There's nothing there. That's just like a town where you either work at the cigarette factory down the street, or you get out somehow. And that was my way out. And so, if we were to say reasons why you should join the military, that should be one of them. It's a way out.
All right, and I can agree with that. But here's the thing, the reasons why we're not the ones to ask is because we're not the ones closest to you, and we don't know those situations around you.
Absolutely.
You guys have support systems around you in some way, shape, or form. You
Hmm.
guys have people around you that care about you, that are looking out for your well-being. And those are the people that you need to ask. Those are the people that you need to run all this through. Now, I'm not saying that you ask them, and you base everything on a yes or no answer, but you can use them to go with you to do the research. You can use them, as just points of contact to get a general bearing on what you should do. But asking two strangers on the internet, and look, I am as patriotic as it can be, and I am as proud as what I've done, and it was what Sergeant Merrill and so many
Mm.
thousands of people before us have done. And I
America.
absolutely believe, I absolutely believe it is something to be proud of, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if
And it's
somebody's
Go
parents
ahead.
is willing to pay for their college, absolutely take advantage of that, man. Yeah, good. College is a great route. I'm never going to sit here and say the military was a better route for me than college. It worked out really well for me, but at the same time, if I already had someone who's going to pay for me to go to college at that time, I mean, fuck, man, try that first. And if that doesn't work out, the military is always going to be there.
Yeah,
It
definitely
takes
not
a
going
lot. It
anywhere.
takes a lot for the military to be like, nope, sorry, don't want you.
And I don't know who in their right mind would tell anybody to do anything above getting an education. I'm telling you guys, getting an
Yep.
education will help you 99.99999% of the time more than anything else. It really, really, there's nothing more important than an education. And I'm talking about 40 years old, 50-year olds, 60-year olds. You always need to continue to learn because it will make you a better person. But if you don't have the means, it is a good way to pay for that. I'm not going to deny that it's paying for my college right now.
Oh yeah.
But I
Paying
know
for
in
my
my instance.
college. I got a VA loan to pay for
Hmm.
my house. I mean, shit. If you get hurt, you get disability. It's a great way to get somewhere where you otherwise didn't have the opportunity to get there. But if that opportunity is already there, why sign that dotted line unless you absolutely have to or are so patriotic that you want to? You know.
And I think if they're so patriotic that they want to, I think it's kind of hard. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would be asking us. Because for me,
No.
I didn't question.
Mm-mm.
Once I made that commitment, once I saw that definitive moment, I knew there was, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I knew what I wanted to do. There
Yep.
was nothing going to stop me from doing it. Unfortunately, that was my junior year of high school, and I lost motivation to continue my education as far as high school goes, and I didn't finish out high school as well as I should have, and I'm paying for that now in college. But you guys shouldn't. If you want to learn from that, don't do that. Take your education very seriously. But Sergeant Merrill, I just wanted to rehash on that. You and I are not the people to ask. Now we can try to give you guys as much advice as possible, but as far as if you're looking for a definitive answer, if you're looking for the answer of should I join the military, guys, ask your support system around you, your parents, your grandparents, the people that love you, that are around you. Those are the guys that you need to do the research with, to go cover all your bases with, and you guys can make a decision yourselves. You shouldn't be are scared. You shouldn't be intimidated to ask somebody around you. And I understand that, there are probably parents out there that will immediately say, no, my kids aren't joining the Army. My kids aren't joining the military. Sorry, Meryl, I know you can probably,
Yeah.
know that exists at least.
But I mean, again, it's all about information, arming yourself with what opportunities are out there. And like I said, not every military job is a combat MOS. There are 212 of them. I was a public affairs specialist. I was a journalist in the military. I knew people that drew maps. So there was a job for the military for you to be a graphic designer and illustrator. I mean, there's just, do you think that's a combat MOS? No. I mean, do you learn how to shoot a rifle? Do you learn how to handle yourself in a combat situation? Yes. But when it comes to your day-to-day job, you're doing what you sign up for. And a lot of parents, they hear about the military and they think, oh, my child's going to be in danger. And that's not always the case.
Oh, absolutely right. I mean, and again, information. The information is key. You have to do the research, guys, because there's so much. I can't stress it enough. There's so many factors involved in this decision that it's impossible for anybody to say definitively after you ask the question, should I join the military? Yes, no. Right off the bat, yes, no. Unless you've done the research, unless you've considered all the factors, unless you've gone through time and time again and considered seriously every single aspect of not only right now, not only your past, but your future. The 8 years, the minimum 8 years
Minimum.
that you're signing that contract.
Minimum.
Minimum 8 years that you're going to sign that contract, and what's going to go beyond that, how that's going to help you beyond that, during that 8 years and beyond that 8 years, if it's going to hold you back from something, if it's going to open up a whole new, world of opportunity. So all that has to be in place, guys. All that has to be considered before you're able to make that decision. So asking Sergeant Merrill and I, should I join the military? That's almost not fair to us.
Do it.
Don't do it. Yeah. But Sergeant Merrill, I really do appreciate you joining me for this topic because I know it's something that we get quite often, and it's something I really want to help people with. But more importantly, I want to help people understand that it's just it's something you really have to put a lot of thought into.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to help out. Glad I could have put my opinion in there.
And guys, I appreciate your support on this video. And if you did enjoy this video, I encourage you guys to hit that like button down below. And also check out Sergeant Merrill's channel. His channel annotation will be on the screen and in the description below. But that's all I got. Thank you again, Sergeant Merrill. And I'll see you guys again soon.